My dad worked hard every single day of his life, every single day, and he never got wealthy. So somebody has to ask the question, if hard work makes people rich, then why isn't every single construction worker a millionaire? Why isn't every single nurse or a school teacher rich? They work harder than everybody else. And in this video, I'm going to show you why working harder is actually keeping you broke and what really moves the money. So let's get into it. Now, I know how that sounds, and I've got nothing against hard work. I started my first business when I was like 19 years old. I've done the 100-hour work weeks. I've done the night shifts. I've done more grinding than most people you'll ever meet. That's exactly why I get to say this. Hard work on its own has never made anybody wealthy. I believed it did for 20 years, and that belief landed me in 65K's worth of debt, burnt out whilst working harder than anybody else around me. So here's a plan for today. I'll show you where that belief comes from and who's making money from you believing it. Then the deal that you've made with yourself without you even knowing it. Then why working even harder when you hit the plateau actually cements you there. Then after that, what to do instead. And the last part of this video is a permission slip. Some of you have needed it for years. Let me take you back. I'm 8 years old and I'm asking myself this question that no kid should be asking. Why can't my dad pick me up from school in a nice car? He works all the time. Everybody around me is always constantly working, always moaning, complaining. So where's the money? And every answer that I got was the same. That's just how it is, son. You work hard, you keep your head down, you got to be grateful for what you get. Now think about that answer for a minute. Who does that answer actually work for? It works for every single boss that you've had, doesn't it? It worked perfectly for the schooling system, whose one and only job was to produce mass workers. Sit down, do as you're told, give us 45 years of your life. And today it works for the hustle gurus because work harder is the easiest thing in the world to sell. If it works, they take credit for it. If it fails, that's on you. You didn't want it badly enough, so you buy the next course. Nobody out there is selling a program called Change One Belief and Relax. And here's the thing that should have killed this myth off years ago. Look around you. Effort is literally everywhere. Cleaners, drivers, nurses, taxi drivers, people holding down 2 jobs. Maximum effort everywhere you look. Everyone's grinding away. If effort was the real price of wealth, why do the hardest people working have the least amount of money? Sit with that one for a minute, because they actually sat down with it and I actually started thinking about it. Everything changed for me. Money's not paying you for your efforts. I want you to think about this. It never was, it never will, and it never has been. So if money's not for the hours, what are all these hours actually doing? That might be the uncomfortable bit. Now, here's what I finally found when I looked at my own 100-hour work weeks. Honestly, I looked at the amount of hours that I was putting versus the reward I was getting. The business didn't need 100 hours. It didn't need anywhere close to 100 hours. So why was I doing them? Why was I grinding away, wasting away my life, spending all that time in my business? Because somewhere along the line, I made a deal with myself. If I suffer for the money, I've earned it. Now, if it comes easily, there's something wrong with it. You know that phrase, easy come, easy go? That was drummed into my head. That was the deal. The hours were never for the business. The hours were there for me. And that's how I paid the price to keep the money. Think about this. Now, let me tell you about the day that I should have figured this out. 20 years before I actually did. I'm 19 years old. I've got my first carpet cleaning business. My first proper job in a restaurant. I charged $300. And the whole freaking thing took me 2 hours. 2 hours. And I made more money in those 2 hours than my friends did working in a factory, busting their balls for 40-hour work weeks. And I'd made that before lunch. And nobody came chasing after me saying, you didn't suffer enough for that money. Give some of it back. The money did not care how long the job took. And what I did do with that information, guess what? Nothing. I drifted straight back to the long and hard business after business, year after year, because easy money made me feel really uncomfortable. And hard work felt like good money. It felt like honest money. And that was my deal, running me without me even being aware. So let me ask you something and be honest with yourself. Now imagine earning double than what you earn right now, working half the amount of hours. What do you actually feel? Excitement? Or does something inside you go, well, you know what? That wouldn't be right. Just let me know one word in the comments. Excitement or guilt. And guess what? That one word tells you exactly which deal you've cut with yourself and what's running the show for you. And this deal gets super expensive because when you hit that plateau, the deal is what keeps you there. So watch how this works. You know what the hamster wheel is? the little fella running flat out, spinning the wheels, going absolutely fucking nowhere. Now, here's a question that no one out there is asking. Why does the freaking hamster keep on running? I'll tell you why. Because it feels like it's actually doing something. It feels like progress. The sweat's real. The little legs are achy and tired. His heart's pounding away. So surely he must be getting somewhere, right? The wheel was never attached to anything in the first place. Now, when a business owner hits a plateau, what's the first thing they do? When nothing's going right, they run faster, right? They do more of everything else. And I want to show you what that's actually doing underneath, because it's worse than doing nothing. The 3 things that happen. The first thing, every 100-hour work weeks is a practice run. It's a practice session. So what you're doing is you're rehearsing this belief. Effort equals money. Effort equals money. And over again. So that exact belief that built your ceiling gets even stronger. Every single week that you grind gets stronger and stronger. So think about that. Your own effort is reinforcing the thing that got you stuck in the first place. If you look at how jobs offer you overtime, working longer, that's installing the belief inside you that you've got to work longer to earn more. More work, more money. Now, the second thing, this is so smart. Tired people, they wear you out, they wear you down so you can't think. And the way past the plateau is never more output. It's a better decision. Raise a price, maybe change the offer, tweak something, and maybe spot the opportunity that's been sat in your inbox for over 6 months. A fried brain sees none of that because your head's down, it's all over the place, and you're not focusing on anything. They've got you thinking, they've got your mind, you're locked up. And the third thing, and this is one from one of my other videos, your financial thermostat. Your subconscious mind has a setting for what's normal for you, somebody like you, what you normally earn. And by now, the grind is a part of the setting. You push, the income climbs a little, the setting pulls it back down. And you push again, round after round, day after day, year after year. So the whole time your mind sat there taking notes. Oh, I see. This is how many hours our money costs us. That's fine. Here's some more hours for you to work. So the harder you work at that plateau, the deeper you carve into it. The harder it gets, the worse it gets. That's why the hardest workers stay stuck the longest. So what do you do instead? Because the answer is definitely not put your feet up. Now here's the actual replacement. 3 moves. I do all of these 3 moves in my own business. Move number 1. Work more on your internal setting before you work on your business. Spend 30 minutes a day working minimum on the inside work that I show you on this channel. Catch your money beliefs, replacing them, feeding them with this new identity every single day. And I know it doesn't feel like work. It's the 30 minutes of your day that's pointed at the actual problem. Move number 2. Find out exactly where that money came from. Sit down with the last month and be brutally honest about it. Which actions actually put money in my bank? Write them down. For most business owners, it's a small little tiny list of a few conversations they had, one offer and a handful of clients. And that's the whole list. So where are the other 60 hours? Emails, tinkering, redesigning the website for the third time, a new logo, maybe reposting a video over and over again until it's perfect. Busy work, dressed up as effort. Cut it. Hand it to somebody else. Drop it completely. Now, I'm ruthless about this in my own business. I ask the same question. How do I cut this down? How do I cut down the time it took me to do this? Even on small stuff. My guy Dan was editing on his tiny little monitor, squinting all day long. So I got him a bigger monitor, big, huge monitor. And that's hours back every single week, forever, from one question. And move number 3, change your scoreboard. Stop counting hours. Hours are the hamster scoreboard. At the end of the week, ask yourself, what did I actually do that actually made me the money? And how do I do more of that next week and less of everything else that ain't serving me well? First time you score a week like this, I'm warning you right now, you'll not enjoy what you see it, but do it anyway. Do those 3 things and something strange starts to happen. Your work will begin getting easier and you start making more money and things will start getting better and better because a different person doing it. Same business, fewer hours, more money. I've watched this happen with too many of my clients to call it a coincidence, which leaves one last problem. And it's got nothing to do with strategy. The guilt. Because here's what happens when you generally start working less. The results hold or they go up. And your old programming does not like that one little bit. You finish work at 2 in the afternoon and you feel like you've done something wrong. You feel guilty about going home early. You take a Tuesday off. You catch yourself hiding it, not mentioning it to anybody like I've had a day off because you feel lazy. So that adds up. That voice starts telling you that, you know what, you're lazy. You should be grinding away. Guess what happens? That doesn't last long. So you go back to work and that voice, the old deal is talking. Suffering for money. That's all it's about. So let me tell you where I've ended up. And remember, this might sound crazy, but this is coming from a man who used to work 100-hour work weeks, evenings, weekends. Now, inside my business, I work around about 10 hours a week. Yup, you heard that, 10 hours a week and multiple six figures every single month. And honestly, I don't even call it work anymore. I do things with fun, ease, and speed. And my income went up and my hours came down because the person doing 10 hours has a different setting to the person doing 100 hours. Think about that. One of my clients, Dave, he takes his family away on holiday like 3-4 times a year and he switches off properly. He relaxes by the pool, travels in like class. And that week on holiday, he went away on holiday for 1 week. And guess what? He earned more money in 1 week than he used to in the entire year. You know what the first thing that he actually felt when that happened to him? He felt the guilt. He felt ashamed. He called me up and said, Mindy, I don't know what's going on. Listen, I knew what was going on because it was this old deal around money that said that, listen, if you don't sweat for the money, you don't work hard for it, it doesn't count. And that was what's controlling him. So here's your permission slip from somebody who paid the price for over 20 years for his permission slip. You're allowed to earn more money once you actually work less because guess what? Your kids actually want you there with them, chilling out, playing, having fun, watching movies. They don't want you exhausted, burnt out. And the money was never counting the hours anyway. It responds to the value that you put out and the person that you became. It always did. I remember hearing the concept from one of my earlier mentors earlier on. He said something like, you can actually turn your annual income into your monthly income. I'm like, what does that even mean? I can turn my annual income into my monthly income? And that kind of blew my mind. And that was really hard for me to take on and accept. And I'm thinking, do I have to work harder? How many more hours can I actually work? And how is that going to work anyway? I couldn't even work more hours if I wanted to. Firstly, I couldn't entertain the idea, but later on, I did it. And if you want the exact process, the inner work laid out step by step, I put together a 5-day challenge. There's a link in the description below, so go grab it. And one more thing before you go, because I don't want you hearing this video wrong. Your work ethic is a gift. Your work ethic would have probably flattened a lot of other people. And once your setting changes, that same engine is going to take you places the grinders will never see. The work was never the problem. The deal was. So make the decision today, right? This week, 1 hour on your setting, 1 hour of honest auditing from where the money actually came from. A new scoreboard, get off the hamster wheel, because like I always tell my clients, go all out or go back to bed. Comment below and tell me exactly how many hours a week you're working right now and what is it actually getting you. If you've enjoyed this video, watch the next one on the screen right now. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.